Okay, Anthony, you're live.
Hi, everybody. I want to welcome everybody to Reform Gangsters Live. And if you like my content, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. Also, please check out my Patreon. I got a lot of new content and new content to come. Memberships start at $1. Also, don't forget about my store. I got some T-shirts, Reform Gangster T-shirts, mugs, and hats. Also, I'm having a birthday celebration on October 30th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And my guests are going to be Michael Franzese, Sammy De Mayo, my cousin Gene, possibly, and a few other surprise guests. So I'm looking forward to that. So tune in. Also, I'll be in New York on November 7th. I'll be in a studio in Long Island. We're having a cigar event. So if you'd like to attend, please contact me through my email, Anthony Ruggiano Jr. at gmail.com. And I have a new announcement too. I'm also now being represented by the 5-Star Speaker Bureau. So if you would like to book me or Lawrence Taylor or Mookie Wilson's a little busy right now because the Dodgers won last night and he'll be playing the Mets this week. So he might be a little busy right now, but you could book him for the future. And Mark Hoban to speak at your event. So please go to 5starspeakerbureau.com and you could book us on that. So I have some questions here. We'll start out with, let's bring this a little closer to me. Well, the Gambino Brothers, Giovanni, Sal, and Joey there at the wedding. I believe one or two of them were. I don't remember exactly. But, Carl Gambino was dead. He wasn't there. Paul Castellano was there. He was at my wedding. He was the boss. I know Tommy Gambino was there. Carl's son, he was definitely there, but I don't know about the other brothers. But Tommy definitely was there. I remember Tommy being there. Have you ran into someone that is in the life since turning? Not anyone that has turned, but still or was in your father's crew. I ran into one guy, believe it or not, at a Metro PC store many years ago. He was in line to do something with his phone, and we just looked at each other, and nothing came about it. I haven't ran into anybody else. To come to think of it, no, I haven't ran into anybody at all. I mean, a couple of females that knew me. That's about it. No mob guys, really. I haven't ran into any mob guys. Maybe it's too personal. You speak so fondly of your wife, Alice, but you never mentioned what happened. Alice was a good woman. I was married to her for 12 years. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Unfortunately, she passed away a while ago, but she was a really good woman. She understood the life, and she always had our back. She was a very, very stand-up good person. Great stuff, Anthony. Hey, didn't your father attend Tommy Karate's wedding? Yes, he did. He went to Tommy Karate's wedding back in the day. Not me. I didn't go. He did. Imagine being the poor waiter that was in charge of guarding the wedding cake at my wedding. Yeah, he was all right. Nobody stuck their fingers in the wedding cake anymore. Did Roy DeMeo go to your wedding? That's a good question. I'm assuming he definitely was there. I don't remember. Listen, there was 1,000 people there. 1,000 people. Did I go to every single table and meet everybody that was there? No. But I would bet that Roy was there because 90% of the Gambino family was there. Well, the FBI at your wedding, the FBI was definitely at my wedding, without a doubt. No doubt about it. Why don't I interview Kathy Burke? Kathy Burke was a very, very dear friend of mine from when we were kids. I wouldn't put her on that kind of a spot. You know what I mean? I don't think she would do it anyway, regardless. But she was a very, very good person. We always got along great, and I always loved her to death. Did I go to Tommy DeSimone's brother's wedding? No, but Tommy DeSimone's brother Bobby was my father, Fat Andy's co-defendant. Yes, the bagels in the Sunday paper, joints on the table, which reminds me, you should do a show on mob control of bagel stores. Yeah, you mob controlled everything. I just spoke about that earlier on my recorded podcast. That how the mob controlled the school buses. They had the contract with the Department of Education, the lunch trucks on construction jobs, the bread stores, the bakeries. They controlled everything. Christmas trees. Anthony, why do you think Castellano failed to react when they refused to give him the transcripts? Because he just wasn't a gangster. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have that intuition. You know, he didn't have that. I mean, don't get me wrong. He was a killer. He had no problem giving the order for people to be killed. But he was himself. He was not a gangster. You know, that was a gangster move. Mr. Rugiano, can a court-ordered 12-step program succeed? Of course it can, as long as you keep an open minded. You know, you could hear the message. If you hear the message of recovery, I know a lot of people that were court-ordered to attend meetings and are clean 30, 40 years. I have a friend of mine in Michigan, Mike. He owns his own treatment center now. He was court-ordered out of prison in Michigan to go to NA meetings, and he heard the message, and he's clean now. At least 34 years, Mike must have now. Been traveled the world, been all around the world, him and his wife. The CIA is the biggest murder, Inc. No comment. Anthony, did you know anyone in the Cavalcanti crime family? Boss Vinnie, I didn't know Vinnie Ocean, but I knew the plumber. I knew the boss. He used to come, actually, he had a condominium in the late 70s and early 80s. He had a condominium in North Bay Village, which was directly across the street from where we had the Italian restaurant Dano's, and he would come in there and eat dinner many, many nights. He would come in there and eat dinner. And then I think he died of stomach cancer. So, yeah, I did have a relationship with him, but not Vinny. When you say someone got chased, does that mean shelved or does it mean killed? Shelved or chased? Yeah, I mean, if it was an associate and he got chased, he would just be told not to come around anymore. But a wise guy would have got shelved, not killed. Did any people treat you differently after your father died? I wouldn't say they treated me differently, but they did. They did take stuff that I felt should have been left in my hands. So, but they didn't treat me personally different or disrespect me in any way. But yeah, they did things they shouldn't have done. Of Bob Rose, of all the old-time mob legends, who would have you liked to meet? Gambino, without a doubt. Carlo Gambino, I would have loved to met him. Can we get some Danny Cayo stories? You know, Danny Cayo is a funny guy. You know, we used to fly to Missouri together. So Paulie Vario and my father, Fat Andy, were in Springfield, Missouri, in the federal prison hospital where actually John Gotti died. And we would all fly out there together. Tony Lee, myself, Danny Cayo, Pete the Killer, Paulie's son. We would all fly out to Michigan, to Missouri together. And we had some good dinners together, a lot of laughs. He was a really good guy. I liked him a lot. Danny Cayo. He survived the onslaught by gas pipe because they didn't really like the Vario crew. You know, evidently, you know, they killed Bruno Fasciola, but Danny survived. Was Spark Steakhouse mobbed up? I don't think they were, but you know, who's to say everything in Manhattan was mobbed up? I really don't know personally if they were mobbed up or not. DeSimone blood relations. I don't know what that means. DeSimone and DeSimone blood relations. I don't know. Roy DeMayo's brother, how much was the contract for the 9/11 fireproofing that was given to Louis DeBono? I don't know. That's a good question. I would have to ask Sammy De Mayo. He would know the answer to that. I'm sure it was a lot of money. A lot of money. Them guys dealt in millions. Them guys dealt in millions. Nikki, you want to come on, Nikki?
No.
No?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Cornbread, Anthony, where is Vinnie Carrillo or Joe Butcher's son? Was he around Johnny A. Light? No. Joe Butcher's son, that's a good question. He was, you know what? It's crazy because Joe Butch was a captain. I knew Joe Butch well. I never met his son. All of a sudden, John Gotti becomes the boss, and his son's connected to John Gotti's shoulder and got straightened out. Another Johnny come lately. That's another reason why I really didn't go to the Raven Night a lot. I saw John by the Bergen Hut Fish Club because all these people came out of the woodwork when John Gotti became the boss. I don't know, maybe they wanted to get their picture in the newspapers or something, but he's another kid, never knew him, never met him, knew his father. All of a sudden, he's a wise guy, and he's up John Gotti's ass. I don't know where he is now. Who knows? His father had millions. So if he's smart, he's living somewhere high on the hog and not involved in the mob anymore because, was he ever really involved in the mob? I was a criminal. I did time in jail. I was a criminal. I don't know what these guys did, Vinnie did, outside of being, Joe Butch's son. Tommy DeSimone's brother was, one of his brothers was an informant, exactly. Not Bobby, one of his other brothers. Roy DeMayo's brother. Did Sammy ever strong arm you or any of your crew? Never, never. And never, never, never. Sammy was always good to us. Easy champion. I'll try to be nasty. I'm just curious what you would say. I mean, who are you going to be nasty with? I don't know what you want me to tell you. Cornbread. Thanks, Anthony. He was a driver for John and holding an umbrella. Exactly right. Exactly right. So if that makes you a criminal, good for you. Another cornbread. Oh, I got that one. BB, did you know Louis? Yeah, I knew him good. John, I can't pronounce that name. What are your thoughts of Ronnie Tro? I love Ronnie. Ronnie won, I love him. I feel terrible that he's going to, die in prison. He's been in jail all these years. One of my true friends, always to the end. One of the only guys that was when I was in jail that looked out for my family, that always looked out for my son, his mother, my sister, my brother, just a gangster, a tough guy. I love Ronnie, went on to death. How often did you eat at Sparks back in the day? I didn't eat that much. I was a Peter Luger guy. I really didn't eat at Sparks much. Peter Luger's was our spot. When we wanted steak, we went to Peter Luger's. Frankie 3X, do you know anything new on Shorty Spiro except what Sammy already said? There's really nothing new on Shorty. Sammy tells it all, what happened, there's really nothing more to say about that. Sammy told it all. There's nothing new, nothing old. Dorius Knox. Hey, Anthony, watch your lock of the week of football today or Saturday. I don't know. I haven't really looked. Honestly, I'm wrapped up in the baseball right now. My Yankees advanced to the ALCS. So I'm really not. I'm really, I like the 49ers the other night. I really haven't looked what's going on Sunday. But right now I'm wrapped up in baseball, with the playoffs and everything. What are your thoughts about Jojo Carraz's son, the lawyer? He's a good lawyer, threw me under the bus. I know him since he's a little kid. Since he's born, I know him. He's a great, he's a very, very good mob lawyer. He's a criminal, you know what I mean? He is what he is. I really don't want to get into that with him. He might sue me. I don't know. But there's a lot of rumors going on around about him. But he's a good mob lawyer. but that's about it. Diamond Newman, what was the Woodsack? What was Woodsack? Did you ever meet any? I was never in Woodsack. I was never in I was never in any of their institutions or any of their jails. When I was in the witness protection program, I was living in Idaho and then Washington State and Michigan. I was never in a facility, so I really didn't meet anybody else that was in the program. Thoughts on Giuliani? A mob killer, put a lot of my friends in prison. I hated him back then, but I have to say one thing about him. He was a great mayor. He really, really built New York up. I mean, he was probably the best mayor of my lifetime. Now New York is a shit house, but he was a great mayor. Easy Champion, regarding treatment, do you believe maintenance medication is going from one drug to another? There is a treatment center online that is using ketamine therapy to get people. I'm only going to give you my personal opinion. I don't believe in any kind of maintenance, any kind of ketamine. I can only tell you what works for me. Total abstinence from all drugs, including alcohol. Alcohol is a drug that has caused a great many addicts to relapse, period. That's what I go by. That's what I live by. I don't use no matter what. I don't believe in ketamine. I believe that, maintenance could get you to a certain point, but eventually you have to get off maintenance. That's just my personal opinion. What do you think about that, Nikki?
I agree, 100%.
My cousin agrees. She's also in recovery. She agrees 100%. All right. I'm going to wrap it up now. I want to thank everybody for coming on live. It was a pleasure. Hope to see you again soon. Don't forget, if you like my content, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, check out my Patreon. Membership started at $1. Don't forget about October 30th, my birthday party, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Come on, I'm having special guests, Sammy De Mayo, Michael Franzese, and others. Don't forget about November 7th. I'll be in New York at a studio in Long Island. We're having a cigar event. You can check it out. So stay safe, everybody. Have a good day.